Hi, I'm Katie from What Katie Did, and today I'm going to be talking to you about our Demi Paramesh corsets. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, we made a Powermesh Demi Corset, which is a cross between a waist cincher and a full corset, and it was very popular, and people were frustrated when it was discontinued. It was a limited edition item, and it was limited because we only had a small amount of Powermesh. Now, I found the perfect heavyweight Powermesh in the UK, and to get it to the factory, I actually took it in my suitcase because it was too heavy to ship. It would put the cost up too much. And so that cut out the shipping cost, and we just had to pay duty when we got to the factory. And that's all good. The problem with buying from the big Powermesh suppliers is that we normally buy in 2,000 metre quantities, and that means we get everything dyed to match and everything's perfect. But for a new product for which we were only making one item and we had no idea how well it would sell, we couldn't justify getting 2,000 metres. I mean, if you know the story of the Demi Paramesh corset, you'll know we were running it for about a year, and that was just with 100 metres. So even though I say it was selling really well, for us, we're still working in very, very small quantities. The obvious idea would be to make the Demi Paramesh corsets in our lingerie factory, which is used to working with stretch materials. But the problem with that is that they don't have the experience of making corsets. And although you'd think it would be easy to cross-transfer skills and that the corset factory would be able to make lingerie and the lingerie factory would be able to make corsets, there's a different set of machinery involved and there's a different set of skills. While our tailors are very skilled on 1 or 2 machines, there's very few of them that can work on all the machines, and really it's just the top samplers who can work all the machines. So it's been my plan to trial Powermesh corsets in our main lingerie factory for several years now, and the problem is I always work on the essentials first, but after all that's what pays everyone's wages. So I arrive and I spend a week at the factory and we have a great time developing new lingerie products. And the last day, we always have a few hours to look at corsets, but by that time we're tired and we know we've done good work and there's not enough time to actually nail it in a day, and nothing ever happens, and we'll say, okay, we'll try next time. And that never happens. And so this time around, my one aim for this visit was to nail Powermesh corsets. So I haven't got very much lingerie to do at all. We're just working on corsets, and if you can hear any background noise, that's because we're working on them here at the moment. So what we've done is we have this busk-free Waspie. This is very similar to Waspies that were worn in the 1950s. Waspies today tend to have a hook and eye front, whereas the one I love, which is in the V&A Museum in London, although it is on tour at the moment, it just has a lace back, so it's a busk-free Waspie, and that's the one we've emulated here. It's a bit frustrating in that you have to pull it over your head, but once it's on, it gives an amazing shape, and it also gives an extremely smooth line under clothing because it is Powermesh, so it's quite thin and it doesn't have the bust. So this is my favourite piece at the moment. And we're also working on a full Powermesh Demi Corset, underbust corset. So inside we got the waist tape, and the waist tape is actually elastic, but we've got 2 layers of elastic, so it really cinches in because we don't want it stretching too much. So the idea is to give you a wardrobe of waist cinches, from a lightweight glamour Waspie, which is actually our bestseller, and then if you want to go a little bit further, or if it's hot or you want to have a lazy day, then we've got a Powermesh Demi Corset. And then if you want full figure control, then we've got the non-stretch full corset. And it's more about giving you the choice about the 3 options, and whichever works, whichever you want to try, then it's having something that will work for you. We're still working on these at the moment, so I'd ignore the colour on this way. It's just the fabrics we had lying around, which were easiest to grab. But we will have final samples in a couple of days, and hopefully we'll be bringing them to you in the next 3 months. So keep your fingers crossed for us. Anyway, I'll catch up with you soon, so take care.